How is it going, everybody? Adrian here from the Gaming Observer, and welcome back to your daily news update for Friday, September the 25th. My friends, we have plenty to talk about here today. Let's jump right in. Okay, so Amazon has been dipping their toes into the game industry for a while now. You might remember some of the games that they've been developing. And today, they have revealed their biggest project up to this point. It is going to be a game streaming service called Luna. Do not roll your eyes just yet. Let me tell you about it. Because I think that they actually have some interesting things going on here. They've positioned themselves somewhere in the middle between Stadia and xCloud. So much like Google Stadia, Luna is going to be available on pretty much every platform. PC, Mac, iOS, Fire TV, and Android soon. However, unlike Stadia and more like Xbox, they are offering instant access to over 100 games for $6 a month. You know, where Stadia had a subscription but also full-priced games. And if you look at the list of games that they're offering, it's actually pretty great. They've got a good list, but I'll let you look at it yourself. Now, I actually think that this announcement is pretty interesting because they have a few different angles than we've seen before. First things first, the infrastructure is really good. They're using AWS, which is Amazon Web Services. That is the biggest cloud computing service in the world, and they own it. So obviously that's going to do good things for them. Other than that, they also have the customized controller, the Luna controller, and it is ALEXA enabled, so you can talk to it. And it also connects directly to the cloud, rather than working through Bluetooth. So theoretically, if the system detects that you're going to play it on your TV, and then you want to move to your phone, then you don't actually have to reconnect the controller, because it's going through the streaming as well. All of that being said, though, the most interesting angle of all of this is Twitch. Let me read you what they say in the press release. Quote, "Inside the Luna experience, players will see Twitch streams for games in the service, and from Twitch, they'll be able to instantly start playing Luna games." End quote. So, you know, where someone like Google had nothing but their marketing to fall back on, Amazon has Twitch. So, if a streamer is playing a Luna-supported game, viewers can now just click a button that's going to instantly allow them to play it as well. That's going to be an extremely big deal, I think, and I'm very interested to see how they develop that further, because I definitely think there's going to be some neat concepts there. Ricky in the Discord also mentioned, hey, you know, you can say, ALEXA, stream this game on Twitch, and you don't even have to, have a device. You can just say it to your controller. I think that is really powerful. Anyway, in terms of availability, customers in the United States can now request an invitation to the beta, but there is not yet a date on early access or the full launch. I'll be honest, I don't think that game streaming is still going to take off the way that these companies want it to, but you know, up front, I think Amazon is doing a much better job than Google did, so we'll see how it goes. Valve has just released a new major DLC for Left 4 Dead 2. That is not a sentence I expected to say this year. If you missed the previous announcement, it's called The Last Stand, and it started as a community creation that Valve is now officially implementing 8 years after the game released. And it is going to be free for all PC players. Here is how Eurogamer describes it, quote, "It includes over 20 new survival arenas, 4 new scavenge arenas, and a campaign based on the Lighthouse survival map. There are also 30 new achievements, melee weapons, animations, dialogue, and competitive balance adjustments." End quote. So I guess if they're going to do it, they're going to go big, right? Now, if for some reason you don't own Left 4 Dead 2 on PC, but you specifically want to play this new DLC, the game is going to be free to play this weekend and on sale for $2 American. So really, if you're someone who likes the game, then they're giving you every reason to go and revisit it. Alright, and finally, after spending 20 years as a browser exclusive, RuneScape is officially going to be arriving on Steam on October 14th. They are also going to bring in old school RuneScape, but that's going to be early 2021. And if you don't know what that is, it's basically WoW Classic, but for RuneScape. Anyway, for many of you, this game is probably going to be a relic of the past, right? Something from your history. But the game is actually doing better than it ever has. Old school ended up being incredibly popular. Their ports to mobile devices ended up being really popular. And Jagex as a company has been performing extremely well financially. So they've been trying to expand in a few ways, and obviously RuneScape coming to Steam is one of those ways. If you've never played it, it's probably not the best MMO to get into for the first time, but hey, maybe this is the opportune chance to go and give it another look. Okay, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. That's gonna wrap us up. It has been a wild week for news, and I hope you've enjoyed everything that people have been coming out with, and that's also gonna wrap us up for this week. So I'm gonna be back this weekend with a few shows, hopefully, and then as always, I'm back with the news on Monday. So folks, until next time, happy gaming, everyone. Hey folks, TGO After-Show. Welcome. So, I think I talked about recently on an after-show, might have been a few weeks ago, I kind of posited this idea that sometimes you watch a piece of media, or you do something, play a certain game, and then it reminds you of another piece of media. In my case, I used to play a bunch of like Spider-Man 2 while I watched The Big Bang Theory on my computer, and I just did that over and over, I don't know why. But anytime I go back to either one of those things, I get like flashbacks, glimpses. They're intimately tied. Well, it happened again to me today. So, Rocket League has come out now, free to play for everyone. And so I re-downloaded it on the Epic Game Store. I connected all of the previous accounts I had, which is on Steam and on Xbox, so that I had all of my inventory up to date. And so I started playing the game, and all of a sudden I was getting like glimpses. Like, I don't know how to describe it. It's like, I just can't stop thinking about it. In this case, it was The Office, because the very, very first time that I watched The Office, the television show, it was like 2015 or something, 2016, I was also playing a whole lot of Rocket League, and I would do them at the same time. And now I've watched The Office, 15 times all the way through, so it kind of lost that Rocket League association. But when I stopped playing Rocket League, that was around the time that I had finished watching The Office. And I haven't watched it in a while and whatnot, but either way, I just mean, it's so weird how these connections happen. If you had told me, think about when you played Rocket League, or think about the first time that you watched The Office, I wouldn't have connected them together. But as soon as I was flipping my car through the air, I had Michael Scott laughing in my head. Anyway, yeah, so I've been playing Rocket League. Well, I played Rocket League today, essentially. I put a few hours in. And I mean, I don't know what to say. The game is still tremendous. It's so good. That's easy to say when all my progress has been reset, and so I'm like, squashing everyone, basically. My skill level is way above everybody I'm being matched with. But I know that once the algorithm figures out that I know what I'm doing, I'm gonna go back to being squashed myself. But that's totally okay. The game has one of the best customization things that I've ever seen. They give you so much variety to work with, and obviously cosmetics is how they make their money, but, I think I put some extra dollars into it back in the day, and so I have a bunch of leftover stuff, and I mean, it's great. It's really fun. And then actually playing the game, I feel like the muscle memory was there. You really don't need to like soccer or flying cars. I think I mentioned that on the show yesterday. If you like soccer or flying cars, this is the game for you. You don't even need to like those things, because I can't even say that I particularly like those things. It's just the most competitive that I've ever been with video games. Any kind of shooter, like Call of Duty these days, Overwatch, CSGO, any of the MOBAs, any of the Battle Royales, I've never gotten into them because my skill level is just so bad. And every time I lose, I just don't feel good. If it's PvE, at least I can cheat or lower the difficulty or something. If it's PvP and I suck all the time, what am I doing? But with Rocket League, I always felt like I held my own. And I don't know if that's going to be the same case for all of you, but I personally find it takes a lot less on being really, really good, I guess, at maneuvering or fancy flips. Because, with things like Call of Duty and CSGO and stuff like that, it really is about how fast can you move your mouse, your hand-eye coordination, as it were. MOBAs maybe a little bit less so. That just takes a whole lot of knowledge about the game. You got to put a lot of hours into it. But anyway, all of this to say, I feel like with Rocket League, because of how the algorithm worked out, it felt like it was rewarding me for my strategic knowledge and how I played with my teammates, as opposed to being able to do a crazy, crazy fly through the air, hit into the goal, I am able to hit a few of those, but not most of them. So I don't know, maybe that'll convince you to go and try it out. If nothing else, make sure you go to the Epic Game Store, get a $10 coupon for free if you just acquire the game. Anyway, folks, I'm going to be back this weekend. I kind of liked the podcast excerpt because I felt like, it was fairly easy on my end, and I got some positive feedback on that, so we'll try that again. If you do want to listen to the podcast live, the full one, it's about 60 minutes usually is what we aim for. That's twitch.tv/gaming_observer on Saturdays, 3 p.m. Eastern. But if not, just tune in on Sunday for the best 3 minutes of the whole thing. All right, folks, until tomorrow, farewell.